What was the hardest struggle in my formation and how did I overcome it? So, as a Jesuit, the formation is bit long as well as it is bit, sometimes someone can say it is bit rigorous and challenging. As a Jesuit, we take at least 12 to 15 years to become a Jesuit priest. But I find it not much difficult, but it's a bit of challenging as a Jesuit, and I'm called to be a man of prayer and of discernment, and to cultivate a deep sense of community life. So one of the most significant challenges that I had faced during my formation is practicing this virtue called discernment. So in another word, whether my action is called to be in the sense of being a Jesuit or not. So it is a bit of challenging, and because as a human we have so many limitations, so whether to determine my actions are correct or not, so it has been a bit of challenging. And another thing that I had faced is that my capability to adapt my situations wherever I am sent, because I have been in Kenya for 3 years almost. So in the beginning it had been a bit of challenging and demanding, and to adapt to this life situation in a new culture and a new place. So, and also another thing, to develop my relationship with the wider community, apart not from being a Sri Lankan, how do I adapt myself to the wider community of the where I am now. So despite of all these challenges and limitations, I find my formation is ultimately transforming and rewarding, and it has helped me to grow in faith, in service, and in community life. So I could say that through my prayer and discernment, it has been a deep commitment to my values as a Jesuit. For the second question, what should the church and the Christian community in general hope from you? So, as a Jesuit, I strive to live out the teachings of Jesus Christ first of all, and to serve my community, my brothers and sisters, with humility, compassion, and dedication. And I believe that as a Jesuit, my role is to inspire others and to bring them hope despite of their difficulties and challenges they face in the society, and also to bring out the values of faith and service and of social justice. So one of the key concepts of our spirituality is that finding God in all things, and this means that I'm called to recognize and also to honor the divine presence in all aspects of the creation, help others, and also help them to see the world through the lens of sacredness, and also to inspire them to seek the presence of God in their lives. And another important aspect in my role as a Jesuit, to offer the spiritual guidance and also to provide care and to be a person whom others can trust, and also so this involves the pastoral care and providing spiritual counseling, and also neglected in the society by promoting the justice and human rights. So by living out these principles, I hope to inspire hope and faith in others, and to serve as a beacon of light in a world that often feels dark and uncertain. So, what will be your pastoral approach towards the famous LGBTQ community, given the church stand on this issue? So it is a bit difficult question to answer, but I think that I need to have a kind of a pastoral approach towards this LGBTQ individuals as a religious person, and this involves respecting them, being compassionate to them, and also understanding them, because we see many of them are discriminated and marginalized in the society, and they had been facing so many challenges to come out as an individual who is really valued and cared by everyone. There is a debate that whether LGBT is a choice or it is a natural instinct but it really can make a difference when someone treats another individual with human dignity and equality. So it is best way to provide people of this LGBT community to overcome these difficulties and challenges by the support that I can show them, as well as counseling or different spiritual guidance, and working towards creating a better society, more just and inclusive world for all the people. Thank you very much.
My name is Pascal B. Horbusa. I'm a Burundian Jesuit. I'm doing theology at Kima University College. In any life, including religious life, there are many challenges, and it's part of life. So whenever there are challenges, we always have methods. We always have ways of overcoming all these challenges. And in any religious life, what have been helping me so far is whenever there are challenges, crises, is I have to pray first of all, and that's my daily activities. Secondly, I have to share with my spiritual director, I have to share with my friends. Then I continue discerning. And with all these kinds of methods that we've been learning, these methods that every Christian actually is invited to use in their everyday life, we can overcome all these challenges. What I've been learning is that I have to embody the mission of the church. So what Christians or the church can hope from me is to continue this same mission of Jesus, the mission of proclaiming the good news, the mission of peace, the mission of reconciliation, especially in this world where we have many challenges, the world torn by conflicts, wars in many parts of the world, as we hear in the news. So my mission as a pastor is to reconcile people, to continue this gospel of peace. And we also know that there are many other challenges. The world is changing, technology. We have many social issues arising, and the church actually wasn't prepared to deal with this, but the church also continue growing. In Africa, we have many challenges, poverty, we have tribal, ethnic conflicts. All these issues, as pastors, we have to deal with them, and we have to embody this image, the image of Jesus Christ, who likes, who loves, who cares about everybody, Jesus Christ who listens to everybody. So this is what I take from the book of Genesis, that every human being is created in the image and the likeness of God. So no one should be discriminated against, irrespective of their social, their religious, their political affiliation. Everybody deserves respect. Everybody deserves to enjoy and live these natural and divine rights, these natural gifts that God has given to everybody. So my mission as pastor is to listen to everybody, is to respect everybody, to care about everybody, and embody this character of Jesus Christ who listens to everybody.
Yeah, I'm Solomon Raj from Sri Lanka. I'm a Jesuit. So let me ask a question and answer the questions. What was the hardest struggle in your formation and how did you overcome it? Yes, that is a good question to answer. Uh, yes, in the formation, I find it very difficult to cope up with is decision making under someone. So whenever I make decision, I feel that someone is there above me, that the superior is there, so I have to tell my decision to him. That gives me, in a sense, it is like, am I doing right things? Why someone is there always to, I have to tell all the things whatever I do. Finally, how I overcome is like I started to think that Jesus was obedient to his Father, and then he was rightly doing his mission, Father's mission, not Jesus' mission. So that gave me the answer that they are there for you to guide you, and then they are there for you to tell you about God and then His decision. So that is how I overcome. Second question is that what should the church and the Christian community in general hope from you? So for me, the church is inviting me to be available to the people so that people, anyone can come when they need someone. So the very first thing, I should be available for everyone. It is not only for, according to me, it is not only for the Catholics or the Christian community, but also for others like Muslims, Hindus, and other religions. Even the people, those who do not believe in God, they can easily approach me. That is what the church is calling us to be. Third question, what will be your pastoral approach towards the famous LGBTIQ community, given the church stand on this issue? So for me, how I understand that, we accept them as they are. That doesn't mean that we are giving freedom to go against the nature or teaching of the church. It is clear, the reason recently Pope Francis said it, that he is not going to allow the same-sex marriages, and he condemned it. So in that way, we accept them as they are, we know them, and we accept them with their own identity, but we are there to protect the nature and the natural value and the teaching of Christ. So that is how I understand that we accept them, we are there for them, we don't exclude anyone away from the church or anyone from the church. We rather accept them as they are, and then we teach them and give them the values of Christ to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So what could have been the greatest struggle that I might have faced in my formation? Looking back in the years of my formation, the hardest struggle that I think I faced was the moments that I actually felt I was growing slowly, or that there was no growth at all. And that is what I could count as the hardest struggles in my formation. Otherwise, I'm actually grateful to the formation that I've gone through. It has been good, it has been very wonderful, and something that I'm really appreciating even up to date. The expectations of the community, the Christian community, the church from me, I'd like to say to grow up as a human being and as a Christian. Those are the first and important expectations that the church community can really expect from me, growing my personhood, grow as a Christian, and from that then I can only be able to be of service to my brothers and sisters, both within the church and also in the community. Thank you so much.
What was the hardest struggle in my formation so far? I think, as it's known, a Jesuit formation is a long journey, and that long time goes along with sometimes challenges that we meet and experience at every and each step of formation. So the first one I can notice is the kind of impatience. You know, when you are doing something and you have a kind of feeling that the time is delaying, it creates a kind of impatience. Yeah. The good thing, and that's helped me to overcome that, is as Jesuits, we are busy studying, busy working in different apostolates. That fact of being occupied helped me to not rely on the time as it is delaying. As people say, an idle-minded is a devil workshop. And most importantly, I think the remedies, if I can put it like that, is prayer. Personally, a spiritual life as by prayer, Eucharistic celebration in community, spiritual direction are a tool that's helped me to overcome many challenges I had to face as I'm going on with my formation as Jesuit. What the church and Christian community in general can hope for from me, I think, you know, in this world, to be in the religious life can seem awkward and weird. Many people are after, I don't know, success in some professions. So to be a religious people now is a sign, I think, of God's love in our world. And the religious people, since this long formation, as I've mentioned, prepare us to be people of and for others. So the greater hope I think people and Christian community can have is that they, through religious people, they can meet really servants of God. In a world marked by divisions and many frustrations, so religious people, we are that sign of God's proximity to His people. So we are here in this world ministering the reconciliation in this broken world. So, and it becomes concrete when a religious takes seriously his formation and try to nourish his internal life through prayer, spiritual direction, healthy readings, and also being really a very simple people in this world, where many challenges are arising, many issues are arising. One of them could be this issue of LGBTQ, which is a very trying and hot topic. As religious people, we are formed, I think, to understand that the God who believe in is a God who calls and welcomes each and everybody. He's not a God who excludes anyone. And that we are not acting as judges. We are servants of God, ministers of God, so we have to welcome with God's feeling those who are kind of marginalized because of their choices, and being with them, journeying with them, to be able to then share the word of God appropriately, and try by that kind of community of sharing to find out the better way God wants to his children, knowing that no one is perfect. Perfection is not a state, is a kind of direction. So we are moved towards improving each and every days our lives.
Thank you very much for this question. In fact, I have taken almost 13 years now while I am in Jesuit formation. To this juncture, I can say that surely I have encountered some struggles, some difficulties, because it's not easy to just travel all this journey up to this stage of formation without meeting some difficulties. Maybe one or two, I would say that, first of all, during my philosophy time, I encountered some difficulties there. And this, to some extent, nearly disturbed my vocation. But thanks goodness that I was able to overcome it through perseverance and prayer. Prayer, and especially when I go back to the source of my vocation, what do I really want? How I got my vocation, how I was invited by God. This is what gives me consolation. Therefore, of course, it was a little bit of struggle, but I managed to overcome it. And even during Regency in Mozambique, I was working in a rural area, and we were trying to work with the locals. And as a scholastics, my job was to do some pastoral work at the parish, which included working for youth. On the question on what should the church and the Christian community in general hope from me, there is a lot which I think the church can expect from me. First of all, is service. Service, I am really convinced that my vocation is not to serve myself, but to serve others, just as Christ came to serve others. And this is to say service to the poor, the sick, and also to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I'm ready to work in this sense, to preach the word of God, to help the souls, to help the poor, the aged, the sick, and all those who need the help through God. LGBTQ, definitely the pastoral approach towards this, I would mention it, is really to accompany our daughters and sons to understand that God created one man and one woman, and each person has his or her functions. So our job or our duty is not to divert from what God created, but to faithfully follow and live a good life as God created. As the scripture says that what God created, he saw that it was good. So a man and a woman is good. They are good. So, however, the church, as the church, we have the duty to help them understand these things. So it's not a one-day answer, one-day job, but it is a process which, as the church, we have to love them, to talk to approach them, talk with them, and listen to their problems, their reasons why they are in that kind of life, why they chose that kind of life. Things. But naturally, there is no one who was born as homosexual or lesbian or whatever. There's nothing like that. So I stand with the church to say no to LGBTQ, but we have to take care of them, listen, and advise them to stop if they can. Thank you.
I might say that my very first struggle in my formation toward priesthood is definitely related to myself. I think that when I joined the seminary, I was excited, and I was really thinking that I am a very capable man and I will do this ministry just on relying on my own forces, relying on my own qualities and talents and so on. And when I was getting deeper in my formation, I think that I was having another idea of becoming a priest. For me, the priest is just a capable man, very like in a Jesuit, very intellectually oriented person. And at that stage of my formation, I might say that I was relying on my own strength in my journey of becoming a priest. But when I was moving very deeply in this journey, then I just realized that, Irene, it is not all about you. It is not all about your own strength, but it is just about God. And I think that that was the first struggle that I encountered in my formation. Counting only on my strength, but not relying enough on God. And what helped me to move from myself and rely totally to God, it is through the spiritual formation that I've received, whereby I realize that being a priest, it is not all about you. It is not all about your own strength, but it is only all about God. God, the source of everything. And that was actually a total conversion for me, whereby I can just count on God and I can really trust Him very deeply to become a good priest. To that question, I might say that, I would expect myself to be what I expect a priest to be. So, and my expectation on a priest, I would say it is a man of God. A man of God, first of all, who is a good friend of Jesus Christ. Because I think that we cannot announce someone that we do not know. We cannot announce someone, we cannot proclaim the power of someone that we have not yet experienced His power on us. We cannot proclaim a God that we do not know. And for me, my first expectation, and I guess that it is also what people are hoping for me, it is just to be a priest of Jesus Christ, someone who has a special relation, a friendly friendship, a very deep friendship with Jesus and with God. And that is my first expectation, and I guess that is the expectation of people on me as well, to be, first of all, a man of God, a friend of Jesus Christ. The second expectation, it is to be a man for others and also with others. And this is what I will call the expectation of availability from the part of a priest. Pastorally speaking, I need and I should be with people, like using the word of Pope Francis, I should be someone who should smell the smell of the sheep. And that asks for me a very deep relationship with whom I have been missioned to administer. So that is the second expectation, being a man with and for others. And the third expectation, I think that right now the priests, so many priests are existing, and we need actually to evangelize. And what the word is expecting from us, it is not theological thoughts and so on, or very good preaching, but they need us to be models. They need actually to be mirrored in their own and daily lives. And that is what I really praying for, and to be a model, to preach by my life. So those are the three expectations that I guess that people are expecting from me, and those are the hopes on me as well. And I think that I'm taking it seriously in my formation and praying every day and asking God to be, first of all, His friend, asking Him to know Him very deeply in order to communicate Him to others, and also being able to always make myself available for them, being with them and also serving them. The LGBT community, I would never even try to categorize them, because it is categorizing people for me. It is already judging them, I should say. Because what matters for me, it is being human and also being Christian. And of course, I am a Christian and I have to follow the rules of the church about this community. And for me, the rules of the church about the community is very clear. They are humans, they are Christians, and definitely they are part of the church. So in my pastoral, when I will meet this community, I think that I will just follow what Pope Francis has proposed. We are just there actually to make them feel loved by Jesus Christ, and who are we to judge them? So everyone is a child of God, and we need really to give them this care, this attention, and also being with them. So I think the church, I would say, it is a home for everyone, whereby God is opening His loving hands and welcoming everyone without any exception. So I think that the first approach is just that everyone is a Christian, and I think that only God who is welcoming everyone, and this God that I'm serving is also asking me as well to be a servant and to administer to minister to everyone. So my own take about it, I would say that I will not even make a distinction between people who are coming in the church. We are all Christians, and that is really all matter for me. So as a priest in the future, I will make the church a home for everyone, wherever you are coming from, whatever is your background, in which community you belong to. You should come to the church where God is opening His arm, welcoming everyone. Yeah, and my role as a pastor is just to make everyone feel at home. So that is my own take about.
Why not we talk about the hardest struggle? I think I may not use the word hardest struggle because it's too strong. I may use the word challenging. I had one of my biggest challenges was when I joined the novitiate. You know, coming from, as we often say in the Ignatian spirituality, coming from the world and joining the religious life, sometimes it's not that easy, but you have that desire, you have that great desire, you have that great passion, which can be helpful to overcome those difficulties. But the main difficulty was like how to adapt yourself with this new environment. You used to like going out, visiting friends and whatever without asking permission. Now you have to ask permission. Now you have to like, by this time you have to do this particular activity, that time you have to do that particular activities. And it makes things a little bit difficult at the beginning, but once you, with the great will, you get into it, it becomes more easier than you think. And it brings you more joy, because joy is the best thing, and joy and love are the best thing that religious can have and offer. So yeah, that's what I can say regarding on my challenging. Thank you. To overcome this sort of challenging, which are by the way normal, I'm not saying that they're not normal, which are very normal by the way, is to let yourself be. It's to let yourself being helped by those who are in the formation training center. I think different provincials, before sending someone, they trust the person. They know that the person can give more value in that training and build a new person according to the charism, according to the vision of the society of Jesus. And that's how I could, by letting myself be, training, accept facing challenging, accept being accompanied by elders, by formaters, and trusting formaters. And that's the best one to do, especially at the beginning of a formation, having a trust through the formatter. Thank you. Yes, as for those who know me, I'm often a smile person and joyful person. I think that's a great thing that I can offer to the church and the Christians who have seen me growing in this life, who journey with me, who accompany me. And I also have that duty to journey with them, because you know, day and day the life is becoming a little bit tough. And what is missing in many lives is joy. Joy is a medicine of many things. And I think as a pastor, as I'm preaching the gospel, the first thing and the summary of gospel is love. And you cannot love without being joy. So happiness is part of me. Happiness is something that I share with everyone. Through the happiness, we can overcome our difficulty. And that is the meaning of the gospel. So we can love each other and love God. Thank you.